باب التيمم قال الله وإن كنتم جنبا فاطهروا وإن كنتم مرضى أو على سفر أو جاء أحدكم من الغائط أو لامستم النساء فلم تجدوا ماء فتيمموا صعيدا طيبا فامسحوا بوجوهكم وأيديكم منه. أوكي. وعن عمران بن حسين أن رجلا قال يا رسول الله أصابتني جنابة ولا ماء قال عليك بالصعيد فإنه يكفيك. أخرجاه في حديث طويل. Right, so أي تيمم takes the place of janaba. وعن حذيفة بن اليمان. So just a point with the word yaman. In English and in Arabic, we don't like to have long, like a combination of long syllables. We don't say break, fast. We say breakfast, right? We don't say, some people don't say waistcoat. They say waistcoat, right? Waistcoat. That's like in Jamaica, they say waistcoat. And they don't say waistcoat. That's also a way of saying things. Um, so generally speaking, we don't like to have lots of long sounds. So you don't say things like muzaini, you say muzani, right? If you're from Muzaina, it becomes muzani. From Medina, madani, right? So this is yamaniyun. Huwa yamaniyun with a shadda on the, with a ya and a shadda, right? Or huwa yamani with a ya. So Yaman, like this, is a bit like Thaman. There's something else. There's a bit more, another whole thing here. But you can imagine just putting one ya. You can do that, right? Hudayfa ibn al-Yamani with a ya, like Thamani, right? With no shadda. So yeah, with no shadda is fine. But Yamani is problematic, right? You can't say Yamani because there's two long vowels next to each other. So you either say Yamani or Yamani, right? Or Yemeni, right? Al-Yemeni, Ibn al-Yemeni, right? So Yemeni with a shadda, no long vowel before it, or alif and no long vowel after it. Does that make sense? And then here, there's kind of option three, which is dropping the yeah totally, right? That's something else. Like the word thaman, right? You can say lahu thamani with a ya, banat. Lahu thamaniyatu awlad. Walahu thamanu banat. You can drop the ya as well. Thamanu banat, right? So it's the same kind of but that's a different issue. Okay, what here we're talking about is, do I say Yemeni or do I say Yamani? Okay, makes sense? And they both mean the same thing. They mean the son of the Yemeni. Okay. قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم فضلنا على الناس بثلاث جعلت صفوفنا كصفوف الملائكة وجعلت لنا الأرض كلها مسجدا وجعلت تربتنا لنا طهورا إذا لم نجد الماء. رواه مسلم. Right. وعن عمار بن ياسر أن رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم قال إنما كان يكفيك وضرب بيده إلى الأرض ثم نفخ فيها ومسح بها وجهه وكفيه. شك سلمة يعني ابن كهيل فقال لا أدري إلى المرفقين أو إلى الكفين. رواه أبو داود بإسناد جيد ثم رواه من وجه آخر وفيه رجل مبهم وقال إلى المرفقين. Right. The اختيار of Imam Nawawi is that you can do it up to the kaffain, right? Which is a great dispensation. I have a catheter on, right? What am I going to do? I'm in bed in the hospital. I have a catheter on. What am I going to do? Wipe my hands, wipe the marble ledge, following the Hanafi and Maliki school, wipe the marble ledge, wipe my face, wipe my hands, done. Thank you very much. Easy, very easy, right? So, there's a time, إذا ضاق الأمر اتسع وإذا اتسع ضاق, right? Things are easy for you. Go ahead, follow the relied upon position, follow the stricter position. If things are hard, emotionally and physically, make things easy for people. وعن ابن عمر في حديث أن رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم ضرب بيده على الحائط, so i.e. the dust that's on the wall. ومسح بهما, so for the Hanafis and Malikis, the Prophet ﷺ was touching the stone of the wall. For us, we're saying no, he wasn't touching the stone of the wall, he was touching the dust on the stones of the wall. ثم ضرب ضربة أخرى فمسح ذراعيه, and he wiped his hands. رواه أبو داود وفي إسناده محمد بن ثابت العدني وقد ضعفه بعض الحفاظ ووثقه بعضهم. وقد خولف في هذا الحديث فرواه ثقات من فعل ابن عمر قاله البخاري وأبو زرعة وابن عدي. وقال الخطابي هذا حديث لا يصح. قال البيهقي رفع هذا الحديث غير منكر is not wrong. Right, ascribing it to the action of the Prophet is not wrong. رواه الإمام الشافعي في من حديث ابن السمة قال مررت على رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم وهو يبول فسلمت عليه فلم يرده حتى قام إلى جدار فحته بعصا كانت معه. Right. So he hit, interestingly, he hit the what's it called? The stone, the wall. ثم وضع يده على الجدار, right, i.e. in Shafi school, and touching the dust on the wall. فمسح وجهه وذراعيه ثم رد علي السلام. ويستدل به أيضا على أنه لا بد من تراب طاهر يعلق بالوجه واليدين حيث حتى الجدار بالعصا. Noticed? He hit it to get the dust to actually come off. وروى الدارقطني عن ابن عمر قال قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم ضربتان ضربة للوجه وضربة لليدين إلى المرفقين ولا تصح أسانيده. Right, but that's what we say in the Shafi school, right? We have to do at least 2 strikes and we have to get up to the elbow. And we say even if the hadith is weak, it is the qiyas because tayammum is replacing wudu, and wudu you do up to the elbows. قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم ضربتان he says ورواه عن جابر بإسناد جيد وقد رواه عن الأصلع ولا يصح وفي إسناده الربيع بن بدر ويعرف بعليلة وهو متروك. عن جابر أن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم قال أعطيت 5 لم يعطهن نبي من قبلي نصرت برعب مسيرة شهر وجعلت لي الأرض مسجدا وطهورا. So the earth is the whole earth I can pray on, and the whole earth is a tool of purification. فأيما رجل من أمتي أدركته صلاته فليصلي. It doesn't matter where he is, right? You have no excuse. Water or earth, doesn't matter where you are. You have to be in a particular place, etc. واستدل به على اشتراط دخول وقت الصلاة في صحة التيمم لها لأنه لم يبح له التيمم إذا أدركته الصلاة. Right? So he says, right, فأيما رجل من أمتي أدركته الصلاة فليصلي. Right? متوضيا إن كان ثم ماء أو متيمما إن لم يكن. وتقدم قوله عليه السلام جعلت تربتها لنا طهورا إذا لم نجد الماء. It's a تربة, it's earth. وعن أبي قلابة عن عمرو بن بجدان عن أبي ذر أن رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم قال إن الصعيد الطيب, the good pure صعيد. So the debate here is صعيد dust that rises, or is صعيد ما صعد من وجه الأرض, anything that comes out naturally. So for the Malikis and Hanafis, they say what? ما صعد من وجه الأرض, that which goes up, like with rocks, like the earth, anything. Right? We say it's the dust that rises. وإن لم يجد الماء 10 سنين فإذا وجد الماء فليمسه بشرته فإن ذلك خير. Right? So this also tells us that tayammum doesn't really take the place of wudu, because when you have water again, you have to make tayammum if you did it in the place of tayammum. You have to make ghusl if you did it in the place of ghusl, and you have to make wudu if you did it in the place of wudu. Right? رواه أحمد وأبو داود والنسائي والترمذي وذا لفظه. Right? قال حسن صحيح. ورواه أبو بكر الأثرم ولفظه فقال يا أبا ذر إن الصعيد طهور is a substance of purification لمن لم يجد الماء 10 سنين فإذا وجدت الماء فأمسه بشرتك. Right? So again, we should be very, very afraid. Right? We live in a situation where not only do we have access to water, but we have access to flowing water in multiple places in our house. Right? Like multiple places. Like how many taps do you have in your house? And is the water clean and potable? Like could you drink it? I'm just counting now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Got 7 places that I can pour water out. Probably more. You know? So these people looking at me like Habibi, you know, Allah ya'ainak yawm al-qiyamah. For us, like water was far away. It was like hard work. And it wasn't there. Like it wasn't, you go for an hour, there wasn't enough water. We just had enough water to drink and that was it. For you, it's like, oh, just turn the tap on. Oh, what temperature you want? Or just on the app, right? On the app, you can tell it what temperature you want, subhanAllah. And so we have to be very cognizant of how luxurious our lives are. Really important, right? Um, رواه أبو بكر الأثرم ولفظه فقال يا أبا ذر أوكي وعمرو بن بجدان هذا ثقة لم يجرحه أحد ولم يروي عنه سوى أبي قلابة وقد روى هذا حديث أبو بكر البزار من حديث أبو هريرة وصححه الحافظ بن قطان, right? The default is that if al-Bazzar mentions the hadith is weak because the the whole book al-Bazzar is on hadiths that are only narrated by certain people, right? There's tafarrud, right? Tafarrud of somebody who's da'if or tafarrud of somebody who's kind of like, it's kind of weird that he's the only person doing that. وعن أبي هريرة قال قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم إذا أمرتكم بأمر فأتوا منه ما استطعتم أخرجاه يستدل به على أن من وجد بعض ما يكفيه من الماء يستعمله ويتيمم للباقي. So this hadith is the basis for two things which are in reality related. One is that if you have if you have nearly enough water to make wudu, you make the best wudu you can and you make tayammum. So you join between the two, right? You join between the two. So when you say you can't, does it mean you can't do it at all? Like, the question is like, when you say I can't make wudu, does it mean you can't do any of wudu uh, or you can't do some of wudu, right? So that's one issue. Based on this as well, this is the same idea as when you have an injury. So when we have an injury in the Shafi school, we make tayammum and wudu, or make ghusl and tayammum. We combine the two things. So that's based on this general idea as do your best, i.e. do everything that you can. So notice, so Imam Shafi is now going to get this, where is it, the hadith? This hadith, okay? This hadith here, which is weak, we're going to back this hadith up with this general idea of try your best, right? أوكي وعن عطاء بن يسار عن أبي سعيد الخدري قال خرج رجلان في سفر فحضرت الصلاة وليس معهما ماء فتيمما صعيدا طيبا فصليا ثم وجدا الماء في الوقت فأعاد أحدهما الوضوء والصلاة ولم يعد الآخر ثم أتيا رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم فذكرا ذلك له فقال للذي لم يعد أصبت السنة وأجزأتك صلاتك وقال الذي توضأ وأعاد لك أجر مرتين رواه أبو داود والنسائي وأخرجاه من وجه آخر مرسلا قال أبو داود ذكر أبو سعيد في ذكر أبي سعيد فيه ليس بمحفوظ, i.e. if the hadith is actually weak, right? So basically there's different versions of this hadith. One of them it's actually from Ata ibn Yasar basically. So it's actually the quote of, it's actually Ata ibn Yasar narrating from the Prophet. When it says Abu Sa'id al-Khudri in it, that's laysa bi mahfuz, according to Abu Dawud. Al-Hakim, he says the hadith is sahih, right? صحح الحاكم اتصاله, he said that is it actually sound, inshallah. So we'll come back to this hadith, inshallah, next week. And forgive my jokes today and my tangents. Try my best. They're like negative advertising for English people. Okay. صلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك.